Thank you so much for being here. Did you see the letter that the president sent to Congress on Friday?
Hey, Maria, it's great to be with you. Yes, I've seen copies of the information that was there and basically letting us know that we have succeeded in what we wanted to do militarily. And basically, I'm excited to hear the developments that are being reported, as you mentioned this morning, overnight, that we're coming to hopefully find that this memorandum of understanding is much closer than we've been throughout this whole process. And that's going to bring a cease to the fire, and then at the same time set up the framework for the most intense negotiations to make sure that we're able to get that enriched uranium out of there, because that's been the deal from the beginning. No nuclear weapon for Iran.
Yeah, of course. And of course, markets this morning are rallying, getting ahead of perhaps the end of the conflict and the details. But the president has been very clear in the last couple of weeks, saying that that the conflict is coming to an end. What are your priorities now on the other side of this, sir?
Well, I think the president has been brilliant in the way that this whole operation has been executed. Because when you think about it, I mean, we took out the military situations that we needed to. We wanted to make sure that we put an end to their ballistic missile production, not only trying to destroy the missiles and their ability to launch those missiles, but we also wanted to be sure to end their manufacturing ability of those missiles. We wanted to make sure that any nuclear capabilities they had were stopped. And through all of those military exercises, the only thing that was left would really be what would cripple the future and I guess of the economy of Iran. And then he put that blockade in place. And that has been the economic strangulation that has been so impressive. Yeah. And then, of course, when he announced this latest operation and that we were going to escort ships through, then that's when things really begin to ramp up of Iran coming to the table. And hopefully, if these reports we're hearing are correct, hopefully within the next 48 hours, we're going to see some results of this. I'm hopeful at least. But of course, you know the Iranians, you have nothing until you have something for sure. And even then, you have to trust but verify.
Yes, great point on that. Well, this is the reason that oil prices are plummeting this morning. And Secretary Bessent was with me on Sunday. He told me he's expecting oil prices to be much lower before the midterm elections. Here's the Secretary with me Sunday. Watch.
This gives me a lot of optimism that oil prices on the other side of this conflict are going to be much lower than they were going in or at the beginning of the year or at any point in 2020, 2025.
You think oil prices will be lower before the midterm elections?
I think oil prices, we can see in the futures market that oil prices are already lower 3 months, 6 months, 9 months out. But again, Maria, there are hundreds of oil tankers waiting in the Gulf to come out. The U.S. is only blockading Iranian ships, and we will see they're not tolling the strait. We think that they've gotten less than 1.3 million in tolls, which is a pittance on their previous daily oil revenues. And their oil infrastructure is starting to creak. It hasn't been maintained, again, because of our decades-long sanctions against them. They are rapidly filling up storage, and as that happens, they're going to have to start shutting in wells, which we think could be in the next week.
So, Congressman, now we see what markets are looking at and the reality of this after he predicted that on Sunday. And you're focused and your colleagues on this reconciliation bill. Now, the Senate committees released a $72 billion budget reconciliation, which includes $30 billion for ICE personnel and $22 billion for Customs and Border Protection, all funded through 2029. And $1 billion is expected to be set aside for security upgrades tied to the White House ballroom project following last month's shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Democrats are already pushing back. They are signaling that they will force a floor vote later this month. Hawaii Senator Brian Schatz wrote this on X, just flagging that now everyone gets an up or down vote on the ballroom. Congressman, why are the Democrats so against having a ballroom at the White House?
Listen, I think the Democrats are just trying to deflect and put more attention on that than recognizing that this reconciliation bill is about funding security at the border. It's about making sure that we're not going to have another invasion at our southern border. And they want to distract from the fact that Republicans have recognized Democrats have done nothing but be obstructionist to this agenda that President Trump has set forward. And by doing this for 3 years and making sure that Border Patrol is going to be funded, that ICE is going to be funded, we're going to be able to continue taking care of business that the American people elected President Trump to do. And Democrats, again, have been nothing but obstructionists. And so through reconciliation, it's going to allow us to get this done as Republicans. We're going to do it. Democrats will continue to try to distract and in any way they can. But we're going to get the job done and make sure for these next 3 years, they're not going to be able to stop it.
All right, Congressman, we'll be watching the work on that. Thanks so much. Mark Harris joining us this morning. We'll take a break and come right back. Stay with us.